everyone, welcome to 7F5R Live on Instagram. This is the 35th episode of this series. It is the 25th of May 2022, currently 2:45 p.m. on a very rainy Wednesday afternoon here in Singapore. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're watching this live or as a recording. My name is Stephanie Jennifer. I'm a CZT21 and I'll be your host for this session. In just a bit, I'll be joined by my co-hosts, Debbie New, CZT18, and Susan Yo, CZT Asia 2. We're so happy to have you here today. And if you'd like to join us and tangle along with us, please take a tile and some drawing utensils, drawing materials. Here we go. And tangle along with us. So yeah, if you're in a rush, a recording of this session will be made available on our Instagram and also on our YouTube channel. You can find us on Instagram at 7forest5rivers, and you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/c/7f5r studio. Hi Susan,
Hi, Steph.
glad that you could join us.
Yeah.
Debbie is actually streaming at the same location as I. We're both at 7F5R studio today. So we're not going to be able to unmute ourselves simultaneously. I think Debbie is trying to join the session. Let's hope that she's able to join in just a bit. So yeah, if you'd like to follow us on Instagram, Debbie is at tangle.pursuits, Susan is susanyo.czt, and I am at halfpen_wheeldraw. So all of our prompts come from 7F5R Challenge on Facebook. You can find 7F5R Challenge directly in your Facebook search bar or go to bit.ly/FB7F5R. Thank you so much for joining us. Like we normally do, let's go through each of our materials first, and then we'll be sharing with you a string and today's featured tangle of the day. Debbie, would you like to go first?
Hi. So today I'm back at the studio with Stephanie because we had a class earlier. And then we decided to just both hang out at the studio and have the live session. So like Steph says, we both can't be unmute at the same time, which is probably good and friendly for your ears. As well as the sound quality for the video as well. So I have with me two apprentice size Renaissance tiles. I might grab something else later, but we'll see how it goes. I have a brown micron, a couple of black microns. I have all my Sakura koi with me actually, and then I also have 5 brushes because I intend to sort of take out some magicals today as well as brushos. So I think before the magical powders came along, there was this brand called Brusho, and our friend actually gave us sea green and Prussian blue. And then I have cotton candy pink and Tiffany loose blue magicals. So these come from the Sweet Treats set. And what else do I have? Yeah, that's about it actually. Of course, I have a bit of like water here just to rinse my brushes. And then as you can see, I have just a couple of fun size. These are IKEA brushes.
All right, Susan, would you like to go next?
Okay, today I'm going to use the apprentice style and with my jerry roll, the moonlight set, and I also stand by my color pencil. So today is like colorful lines on the white paper.
Very fun. So I'm using a postcard sized tile because I have this idea in my head of what I can do, and then I'll probably work on a secondary tile later on in the session. Yeah, it's a postcard that I can actually mail out. Yeah. So Susan, would you like to share today's string with us?
Yeah. Okay. So today's string is very simple. Okay, as usual, I will start it with the border. So if you do not like to have a border, then it's okay, just leave it. But I'm going to have one. Then there's a straight line from the center top to the left bottom corner, a straight line, then a semicircle. Yeah. So this one is something like the L, or you can turn it like a little bit like a V. Yeah. Can you see clearly? Yeah. So it's a line, then a semicircle.
Got other options of how to interpret?
Other options can, if let's say other option. Very good question. I never think of
Susan,
it.
I
But
think
just a
okay.
combination of a straight line. Then maybe the R you can just come it from a center like a cross. You can also doing something like this one. So it's just a combination of a straight line and a curve. Or maybe you want it to have a double straight line and a double curve, then also can. Yeah.
Okay. So it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's my pencil? Need to find pencil. Yeah. So for today's tangle, we're actually using one of my tangles, Faybio. So Faybio was named after the Faybio tulip. So here's how to draw it. Basically, it's a cup, like a sort of U shape, and then you add a little half triangle, I guess, or upside down V. Then you connect that V to the edge of the flower shape, and then add extra details, maybe a stem as well. So it can work as if you look at the blog post that I made for this tangle, it can work as a standalone tangle. You can also make it into a cluster. So lots of fun, many different possibilities that you can use with it. So let me draw it together with everyone. Yeah. Faybio. So it's curve shape. Then we have the upside down V. We connect this line down. And then we can add details to it. Maybe a stem. Or maybe you want to have a few Fabios drawn together. That's also something that you can do. Then maybe I might add two to the corners. Or maybe have it be a place where I start another tangle. So it really is up to you on how you interpret the tangle. Yeah. So I'm going to leave the step outs up for a little while more while you guys settle in. If you're tangling along with us, you can of course follow as we're tangling. Otherwise, you can go on your own little journey, see how you interpret the string, and then see how your string plays with your tangle. Maybe whenever you're ready, you can ask your questions. I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, so Susan, you okay? Ready for questions?
Yes. Ready.
Steph says she's not.
Oh, then
Well,
wait.
Okay lah, wait lah. I don't mind.
Yeah, there
You
she's
can hear her
ready.
yelling, right? In the background.
Yeah, I can hear he's laughing.
Yeah. So she's protesting. So yeah. So actually, it's not like I prepared very difficult questions this time round, so it's not that bad. Yeah. So basically, I started my string and then I realized that it's very empty, so I added extra line. But you don't have to do that. So I'm gonna start with the easiest question, okay?
Very good.
And then you guys can choose the next one. So the easiest question is: do you have a favorite Zentangle HQ or Zentangle Inc pattern currently?
Let me think. A lot of it's my favorite. Have to think. Can only choose one, right?
You don't have to choose just one. You can choose a few, but at least one, right? If not, you're very antisocial. Don't answer my question.
What is this social? I give you more answer.
Yeah lah.
More than what you expect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
giving
I
you the
should get
option.
my
Yeah. So
my
giving you
book,
the
the
option to come
Zentology.
up with more. Yo, just off the top of your head lah. Well, recently maybe I should get the ball rolling. I also have a few lah, but recently I keep drawing vertigo. So vertigo is one. Then I keep drawing flux also and poke leaf. So basically, I think my favorites hardly ever change. What about you, Steph?
I'm also pulling up my Zentology.
Excuse me for a while. I go and get my books.
Then we had a huge sigh. I think off the top of my head, probably is like very basic things like flux and muka. So I'm not. Oh, recently I like to use the Tangle Rain. RAIN. Yeah, I think that's a interesting tangle. When you embellish it in a different way. Very simple to draw as well. So yeah, I like rain. Susan, are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, what is your answer?
Flipping my Zentology.
Oh.
Actually,
Must.
there's a time that I'm afraid of drawing the pinnacle because I cannot. Yeah, something like this one. Oh, but because that time I really cannot catch what's the technique of drawing this nicely. So really, I'm practicing it, but still not that good. Okay, the one
Susan
that I
is
like is
favorite
the
tangle, not phobia tangle.
favorite. No, I want to turn this phobia tangle to my favorite tangle. Okay? Yeah, because I want to
Oh.
challenge myself. Yeah. Because recently I talked to my CCC's friends saying
Okay,
that,
so
well,
maybe next
like,
time I
yeah,
start with the
okay,
most challenging question instead of the simplest question, right? So I
I
was
haven't
thinking,
answered
right?
it.
Yeah, so I thought I would be nice and I'll be kind and I'll start with the simplest question. Then now you say not enough of a challenge. Okay, so I'll go with the challenging one next time.
What? Then later Stephanie ban me. What you
Good lah, very good.
Okay. Very good. Because I wanted to answer that mocha is my favorite because I found that I draw it quite frequent, especially when I do not know what other tangle that I want to edit into my tiles. Then I will choose that. But I try to give different answer. So cannot every time like give the same answer.
Yeah, but
I think I remember
like
I remember the lesson.
sorry,
Yeah.
I cut you for a minute.
Yeah.
I also agree with like the whole like I try to make this tangle that I don't like into something that I like and can use. Because last time I also don't like muka. I find it very hard to draw.
Oh.
Then I play around with it, then eventually I like it. So I get what you mean like when you say like, oh, don't like, then we try to. But I also cannot get, I don't understand pinnacle. Very complicated. It was taught at my seminar.
Yeah.
Was it taught at your seminar?
It was not taught in my seminar.
Oh, it's just
I only found it from the Zentology.
your. Okay, yeah, go on.
I didn't see any teachers that teach this tangle, you know. I think maybe it's quite challenging. That's why
Very sound now.
most of the CCT are sound now.
Mm.
Yeah, throw the pen.
Yeah. So violent. So violent.
Okay, I give my answer. I like the I can this. I think this is the one that introduced after my seminar. Is in I even have my notes. It's 2016 December. Because I was certified in 2016 November. This is the one that I like it very much. Yeah. Okay, I answered my question. So later I want to draw this.
I also like Hollies actually. I like Mocha and Hollies. Yeah, use it very often.
Same family.
Especially Hollies. Actually, before they release Hollies, right? So they released Hollies later, right? But before they released Hollies, I was already drawing Mocha like Hollies. So then when they released it, right, I felt a bit cheated. Cause like, 我已经会了, you know, like I already know like how to draw. I was like drawing it for the longest time, calling it Mocha, and then it was actually Hollies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess that's the way patterns are, because you can interpret that in so many ways, right? Yeah, so Hollies is another favorite. I used to, okay, since we are talking about tangles that we struggle with also, right? So one of the tangles that I struggled with for quite some time was Fangle. So then subsequently I saw it being demoed by Rick at my seminar, and then it kind of like clicked a little bit more lah. But then I still sometimes it's still a not an easy tangle for me sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that sometimes some of the tangles we need someone to like give us some tips how to draw that. Then we'll like, oh, okay, I found a way. Then I like it.
For me,
Sina is the tangle that I challenging you before I see the demo.
For me, at
Is that?
seminar, Rick demonstrated paradox. So that I remember a lot of people were saying like, oh, before this seminar, I actually didn't like paradox, couldn't get it. So it was nice that it clicked in some people at seminar. Yeah, so sometimes you just need someone to like show you how to draw it their way, then it's easier for you afterwards. For me, Fangle also struggled. I remember watching one of Kelly Barone's Facebook Live sessions that she used to hold, and then she was focusing on the tangle Fangle, and then that's when it was an aha moment for me. I was like, oh, okay, you can draw it that way, very interesting. Yeah.
So, was it a difficult question?
No?
Good, right? Not that bad, right?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
So basically that was question number 2 out of 5. So you have the pick of 1, 3, 4, and 5. Good luck.
5.
Wow, very fast. Okay, 5. What is your pre-bedtime ritual? What is your pre-bedtime ritual? Don't tell me your morning ritual, okay? Stephanie To.
Free bedtime. Sound like small children. Okay, wear a pajama. Go play, wear a pajama. Well, I guess, yeah, because I'm Charlotte, my pre-bedtime ritual is it starts from getting her ready for bed because she goes to sleep earlier. So I like bathe her, change her.
I should think so.
Yeah. Then she has a little cup of milk, then brushes her teeth.
Can you imagine?
You put yourself to bed, your child is like.
And then at 3 a.m. she's still.
But yesterday night, it was so late. There were still kids downstairs. I avoid that, There were so many kids. But anyways.
Your pre-bedtime ritual.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's veering very off topic.
Not other people's kids.
Anyways, I will get Charlotte ready for bed. Then she goes to bed around 8:15. She's in bed. Everything's settled. She's okay. She's good. She's well. And then I'll hang out with my husband for about an hour. And then that's when I'll start getting ready for my own bedtime. But by then, I already would have bathed already. I'm changed in my pajamas.
I should think so.
Go to sleep stinky, stanky. No, but anyways. Then, winding down to for bed, scientists say that blue light is not good for your sleep routine, so I try to not be on my phone. So I try to read my Kindle and then try to unwind, relax, don't think so
Are
much.
you sure Kindle doesn't have blue?
Yeah, Kindle.
Yeah,
Mine
I want
is
to
Kindle
ask
Paperwhite.
also.
It's not those like pink bun.
Susan also asked. So
Mine
it's a valid question.
mine is a Paperwhite, so it's those don't have internet access. It's just it's for reading. Don't have
Yeah, but as long as
surfing.
it's a screen,
I don't know. They
there's
say
no light.
Yeah,
they
you
say
still
it's
have
better.
light.
Okay. I go and search about it. But Susan,
Oh,
what's
this
what's
one.
your your bedtime routine?
Bedtime routine. Yeah, I think for moms, right, the bedtime routine, the last thing, sure, the kids. I really envy that Charlotte sleeps so early. And I said, wow, every time 10 or 11, I think as long as I still awake, then he refused to sleep also. So I have to accompany him. So every night, like, faster, go and sleep. I think I thought that this is
Okay,
always the last word that I
as
say
the
before I sleep.
official godparent, I want to say something.
Okay.
Yeah. So as the official godparent of Stephanie's child, I want to say something. She never used to sleep so early because they had her in the same room and they would sleep late. So she never slept early as a newborn. And Stephanie was freaking out. And I'm like, why don't you just move her to the next room?
No, but cannot.
At that point, cannot lah. But subsequently, they could. And they found that she could sleep. So basically, right, it's like they are very light sensitive when they are young. So if your light is on, right, chances are they are on as well. Yeah, and yeah, they are on as well. Basically, like they're like energizer, like can go on and on one, right? So my point to Steph was like, why can't you just put her in a dark room and then just leave her and then she'll fall asleep? Because newborns are light sensitive, and then I can talk until the cows come home when it comes to my godchild, but then my own cat cannot sleep through the night. So last night my cat was partying in the house at 2:30 a.m. She got out of the kitchen by herself, and then can you believe it? Her brother stood outside our door and complained about the sister getting out. So he went outside our door and started squeaking for our attention at 2:30 a.m. Then I'm like, do I get out of bed now? Because if I get out of bed now, I will probably only sleep at 6 a.m. And then I have to teach a class and then I have to rush to studio and prepare a lot of stuff. So I decided to hang out in bed. Yeah, until it passed. Yeah, and then by the time I woke up, my cat had gotten into all my clothing, and then I had to brush off all her fur. Yeah, so my pre-bedtime ritual. Okay, so my pre-bedtime ritual. Sorry, deviate very far away. Yeah, so back to my pre-bedtime ritual. So I actually sleep pretty early nowadays, considering all things. So last time I used to literally work around the clock. But I try to shut down my phone at about 10 p.m. as well. And sometimes even earlier than that. So yesterday, I think around 8 plus, I actually shut down all my communication apps. And then I think I was just surfing or something like that. I was just doing some random stuff because I needed to sort of like get away from all the thinking that I've been doing, all the work that I've been doing. And it kind of helps because I don't want to be dealing with crises just before bedtime. So yeah, so that's part of my bedtime routine when my apps go down and stuff like that. And then usually after dinner is kind of a bit of a busy time for us because I cook every night. So there's a lot of washing up, there's a lot of cleaning. My husband has his chores and then I have my chores, and then we have the plants, we have the snail. Sometimes the snail needs cleaning, sometimes the cats. And then he also has a turtle, so he also looks after the turtle, and then we clean everywhere up, and then we clean the kitchen as well. So we mop the kitchen very often. And then when everything is clean, he goes and takes the trash out, and then I go for my shower, and then I wind down after that. So I've been sleeping pretty early, but last night was horrible. No thanks to my cats. Yeah, not thanks to my cats. No thanks to my cats.
To answered earlier question about Kindle. Yes, it does emit some blue light. So you guys were right. But there was a study done that said like Kindle, if you're choosing to read before bed and you're choosing to use an e-reader, Kindle, the original Kindle is one of the best choice because it's like the lowest amount of blue light, but it does still have some blue light. So you guys were right. Yeah.
But I also think it depends on how sensitive you are, you know. It could have very little blue light, but if you're ultra sensitive, then good luck to you. Right? Yeah.
Stay awake whole night reading.
Party with the cats.
Party with the cats, yes. Party with the cats. I find it so funny that like Dexter went to like complain to Debbie and Daniel about, hey, she's out, you know. Are you guys gonna do anything? So funny. Like, wow, I cannot mind your own business. No, I must go and like complain. She's not supposed to be here. What are you doing out here?
Yeah, so the Dexter is the younger of the two. And then when he came to my place last time long ago, right, the sister used to bully him because he was a lot smaller. So he remembers for life, you know, that she bullied him, and then he started bullying her back. And then when they do naughty things, right, they take turns to tell on each other. So they're pretty much like children. Uh and sometimes they swat each other also, like, hey, you know, like, you did this, you see, I'm getting back at you now, that kind of thing. Yeah. Are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
Okay, you are left with 1, 3, and 4. Good luck.
Seth.
Oh, is this Hunger Games? I got like, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Games, you won't make it.
Yeah. Sit there and cry. It's okay. I'm okay.
I will participate.
But it's not voluntary. It's by name draw. If you lucky or not, you don't want that kind of luck.
Like that.
It's
Okay.
lucky to not be picked.
Lucky not be picked.
Yeah, cause it's
Lucky
no, not that kind of pick. Pick.
Oink.
No oink.
Oink.
What's the options? 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah, you don't pretend lah.
I can't remember.
1, 3, and 4.
Okay, I was right.
It's only 3 numbers.
One lor. One.
Okay. What is a habit that you would recommend to someone who is struggling to cope with self-worth?
Cope with what? What?
Self-worth.
Oh.
You know, like when you it's kind of like self-esteem, self-value, self-worth. I guess also identity. I guess also is identity, like, you know, like how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself, right?
Susan, do you want to answer first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, I go first. I think.
Why
step
Debbie
one
laugh?
Yeah, what?
Because you know it's a hard question when Susan tells you to go first, right?
Yeah, because I'm still thinking.
Yeah lah, so it's a hard question for you lah.
So funny. I think first you need to curate. I think your mic still on, is it, Debbie? I think first you need to do a QC, quality check on the kind of people you follow on social media. Because if you're following people that you compare yourself to in a negative way, then maybe there is something that needs to change. Then step 2, maybe it would be to do affirmation exercises. Like, think about how you talk about yourself or to yourself in your head. Yeah, because that's important, because what you repeatedly say to yourself eventually will become your truth, right? So must take stock of how you are talking to yourself as well. And then if it really is very, very, very bad, then maybe seeing a licensed therapist might be a good idea to help you sort through issues. Because I know for some people is their head voice is related to the people that they grew up with.
What is a habit?
Yeah, that's a habit one.
There's a lot of things.
Yeah, giving you options. You all can choose. Yeah.
Okay, we don't need to answer.
Okay. What? Maybe say don't need to answer. Susan, you want to go next?
Habit, huh?
Or you still thinking?
Because I think my answer seems like, because after I think of my answer, I found that maybe some people they might not able to do that is to choose the right friends or the right person who you hang out with. Because if the people around you keep trying to say something that lower down your self-esteem or whatever, then maybe those kind of friends you maybe instead of meeting them once a week, maybe once a month, okay, you know.
Why some people cannot?
Yeah,
Friends
that's
is
why
you
I'm
choose what.
thinking
I mean,
of some people.
unless you're talking about like your family member that you live with, or like let's say you have roommates or housemates.
That's why
then you
I'm
always see
also
them.
not very sure about my answer whether it's doable to every people. Because sometimes if let's say our colleagues that in the office that we need to meet them every day, then they are always talk in the way like that, then quite hard.
So that means Steph cannot see me often. Because
No
I'm forever
lah.
picking on her. But I'm picking on her all the time. It's true. And
But
then
not
she says
just
things.
picking on her, but
No, listen, I
because
haven't
some
finished.
people
So
yeah.
my point is that we co-pick on each other because she also pick on me. She also say things to
Then okay
hurt
lah.
me.
It's a cycle then okay.
Ayo, I can't believe she said that's okay.
Because
Okay, now we should pick on her then. Because she don't
no,
want
because
us
then
to
it's
pick on her.
balance.
Clearly we
Then
very
it's
nice to her already. Cannot be so nice to her. Okay, now I know. Very good. 大姐大，我记住，
记住啊。
记住你。
Then the best part is tomorrow we're gonna see Susan in person. Susan tomorrow.
Susan 你跑不掉。
take MC。
Susan 跑不掉了。
No, but Susan,
But I
if
think
it's
for this kind of
if
colleagues,
it's colleague,
yeah.
if it's like a proper
Then
company with HR, then you should be telling HR if someone is like harassing you or like talking down to you.
No lah, for adults you can't like if you in school then maybe okay your friends bully you then you say teacher she bullies me. But in a working area the environment, the more you like complaining to HR or whoever, then people will look at you in the different way because you are adult, you cannot solve your problems, then people might not trust you in the sense that you cannot handle your relationship with your colleagues.
But I think like work criticism is one thing, but if someone is like berating you personally is different, right?
But I'm berating you personally.
No! Debbie making herself out to be like some kind of evil villain in like some kind of Disney story.
It's true what?
No, it's not. It's not true. What kind of rubbish answer? Hold on.
Yeah, so see, because our working style is very opposite. By default, right, I work too much, and by default, right, Steph works too little. And then, right, we have a lot of projects together. So if I don't push her, right, I'll end up doing everything. No, but that's pushing what? Can you hear her? Can you hear her, Susan? She's like yelling very loudly behind me. Yeah. So that I can hear it. Correct. So the moral of the story, right, is that 7FR cannot have a HR.
That's why we don't have this post, right?
Yeah, so we cannot have a HR. The HR only deal with complaints only. Hey, can we come back to the question? The question is, what is a habit that you will recommend to someone who is struggling to cope with self-worth? Oh my god. Very far off leh.
Then Susan, wait. Before she answered the question properly, then Susan, you are saying You are saying that if let's say I'm a working adult, then someone is being not nice to me at work, then I'm supposed to just take it.
No, you
I'm very
okay.
concerned.
You can okay. I tell you the solution.
Okay.
You cannot complain to someone who is in the same working environment. Especially unless that person is a very wait
Wait.
unless that the colleague also your maybe a good friend that you trust. If the colleague is not someone you trust, but just a colleague, then you shouldn't. For me lah, to myself, I wouldn't complain to this colleague because it will affect the how he or she look at me in my professional way. Okay, unless you have a good friends in your same company, then okay. So what if you do not have? Then you can maybe just talk to your friends, maybe complain or when you chit chat with your good
Okay,
friends,
then I
then
ask you one very serious question. What if your that good friend is also the one that bullies you?
then why you say as your good friend?
Oh, hey, I can be a good friend with a person who is toxic, and I can love that person, but that person is toxic. I'm not saying you lah. Why is so guilty? Oh my god. Are you supposed to help? I
What?
don't need to draw already. I'm very stressed now.
Why?
My self-worth is in question. Okay, can we come back to the question or? It's like going further and further and further away. Talk about colleagues and HR. I don't want to know whether a person is working or not. What is a habit that you would recommend to someone who is struggling to cope with self-worth? He never say he got job or no job. Got HR, no HR. 哟，很远呢。回来。
Susan, this is gonna be a long Instagram live.
Yeah. Because how come the HR thing come out?
Because of me. Because of me.
It was her, right? She was the one.
Because of me. Because of me. So what's a good habit, Susan? For yourself, self-worth.
Habit because to me, like, if a person they always have the level of the self-worth is very low, most likely they do not have a good habit that build their confidence level or their self-love level. So if you recommend any kind of habit, they cannot cope actually, but they need to learn something is that if they recognize those people is so-called the toxic people, then they should have the habit that to ignore them, ignore whatever they say. This is one of the habit
Then
to
what if
those
the toxic person
people.
is their boss? Then you ignore their boss, then 这样被炒掉。
No, you just listen, but don't take every word into your heart.
Oh, I can tell you it's not possible one. Because right, I have had very toxic bosses in my past career. In many of my past careers, right, different jobs, right, I had very toxic bosses. So it's a very common thing that it's, you try to maintain a working relationship. You try to be as adult as possible, but sometimes your boss is not the adult, you get what I mean? He or she could be the very immature one or the very petty one. So it's not an easy thing to navigate, especially when you have to pay your bills lah, right or not? I mean, you cannot just change job every as and when you encounter a horrible person. If not, then no need to work already. Right or not? So the only thing to cultivate is good habits. Regardless of wherever you work, you have good habits, right? You can't control who you get as a boss lah, unless you are the boss, right? Then you control whether you decide to hire a toxic person or not. But then sometimes you don't know that the person is toxic until much later, right? So then what happens? Do you throw in the towel and say, oh, this person is toxic, I'm not going back to work? Which is, I mean, why you punish yourself? Don't get a paycheck, just because someone is toxic, right? So my point is that instead of avoiding people, which sometimes you cannot avoid them at all, Sometimes they are in your
No,
life and you
not
can't.
avoid. You can't avoid, but just that they still need to say whatever they want to feedback to us in the work. Then you can, okay, just do your work, but don't take it too personal, like take into your heart. Then even weekend also think of, wow, what the bosses says to
Oh,
me, so hurt and
actually, I
everything.
can tell you
Need to
very
back to.
honestly, right? When a person in authority is nasty to you, right? That is very, 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 very difficult. It's very, very difficult to not let it affect you because, right, this person could be in charge of your performance grading system, can be in charge of whether or not you are promoted. It can be in charge of your future, basically, by whatever the person wants to say or do, you know. So my point is that there is, right, going to be a lot of damage in such a relationship, whether or not you let the person affect you or not, you are still affected. And you
Then
can't
what should I
choose.
do?
Yeah, so you can only develop good habits. That's what I'm saying. So basically, right, uh I mean, eventually I did leave some companies because the environment is just toxic. But unfortunately, because I have bills to pay, I cannot just leave every time I encounter somebody horrible, lah, right? So you need to develop your own. Sometimes you have to develop a thicker hide, like thicker skin. Like, you know, sometimes people say nasty things, right? It's something like what you said, lah. Don't let it affect you so badly, right? That you go home and think non-stop. But I do admit that sometimes it's very hard to do. This is very hard to do because, right, sometimes especially if I'm working very long hours and all I see are my bosses, all I see are my co-workers, right? And then my sense of identity or my sense of like contribution to society, all of that, right, is tied into my work. For example, especially if I'm working for the government in certain countries. So certain things, for example, I know of cases where they work for the military and then the superior officer is very abusive. You get what I mean? And those
Yeah.
kind of situation you cannot back out of because firstly, you are under bond to the military, under bond to the government. To break your bond, you have a tremendous penalty to pay, right? And then at the same time, right, you don't want to be blacklisted also because if you get okay, so if you complain to HR, for example, and then you get yourself blacklisted, right, chances are, right, there's going to be people down the line who know your superior and who know that, you know, oh, this person got so and so in trouble. Wow. And then next time you have to deal with even more nonsense from all of these people. So it's not so easy as what people say lah. So the alternative is to develop good habits, which for me, right, includes things like, okay, you need to tell yourself where your limit is. So in terms of people who are civil service people, uh, the main reason why we are there in civil service type jobs, right, is because we want to help society in some way. We want to make some positive contribution, you know, whatever little that we do. We could be government lawyers, we could be government support staff, you know, we could be a nurse or whatever. But you see, a lot of these jobs come with a lot of abuse, be it abuse from the system itself, right? The system doesn't recognize, for example, the long hours, right? You don't get reimbursed financially. You can be working like 20. There was once I worked about 20 hours a day and I wasn't paid for the additional hours, and my colleagues all got off at the normal time, you know. And then do you report this, and how often? If you make more than a certain number of feedback and stuff like that, right? And if your bosses get into trouble because of you, right, then they will have a lot to say as well, and that can eventually impact on your promotion, whether you get passed on for someone else, you know. So a lot of this, right, is like, do you then say no at work? I don't want to do this work because I need to go home, or do I need to say no to you, then you'll get me, or what? Of course, there are bosses that are very nice who are also in civil service, right? But chances are, right, you can't exactly get people who will be sympathetic towards you because they themselves are in a environment that is toxic. they themselves had to put up with this, and so they learn the bad behavior and then they perpetuate the bad behavior to other employees. I mean employees in a general sense lah. Even civil servants, even nurses, doctors, right? If you're overworked, right? But how much you have to decide how much you can put up with, and whether it's sustainable for you or not. So sometimes every individual has like different coping strategies and different coping mechanisms, right? Just like we have different love languages, right? So sometimes, right, certain things tick people off that may not tick other persons off. Like, for example, for me, I don't really care about long working hours. I will still do the work. And it takes I put up a lot before I get frustrated lah, Yeah, I put up with a lot before I get to a point that I feel that I had enough, And to be fair, right, I also kind of like judge myself first before I judge other people to make sure that I'm not the difficult one, for example. I'm not the one making things up, because to me it's very important that I don't blame people for stuff that I'm carrying around because I do have my own emotional baggage. I mean, everyone has their own emotional baggage, but I wouldn't expect my boss to be able to sort of align himself or herself to my emotional baggage, because after all, it's work. He's not my therapist. He's not my husband, right? His job is not to understand me. His job is to get me to get the work done, right? So technically, right, if you go inside a job and you decide that, oh, I need the employer's understanding or whatever, right, chances are you are setting yourself up lah, because no boss is going to be so understanding. Of course, there are, but you luck out if you get one that's so good, right, that is willing to come down to your level and understand you. But technically speaking, I've never seen a boss like that in the civil service or in the education service or stuff like that. So the only way was to find creative outlets for myself. So one aspect of self-care that I indulged in was at that point I was part of a community that enjoyed taking macro photography, for example. So you find things that really speak to you and you can find meaning in, and then your main job doesn't become your only how do I explain like you are only known for one thing, it's kind of like, sometimes there's stuff like empty nest syndrome when the kids grow up, right? That's because you are known as so and so's mother. Every circle you're in is because your child knows the other child, or the child is in a tuition group, so then your identity becomes XYZ's mother, and then people start to forget your name, but they remember you as your son's mother or your daughter's mother. And then when your son goes off and leads his own life, and then you struggle with self-image or self-worth or whatever, that's because you put too much into being your XYZ's mom, right? So similarly to a job, you could be Chief Justice or cheese. Sorry, I don't know why I said cheese. I swear I'm not hungry right now, but yeah. So Chief Justice or Chief of Police or whatever. And how much pride do you place in being chief of whoever? Then what about your household? Are you also chief of your household, or do your kids have something else to say about you at home, right? So I guess finding your self-worth and not having your self-worth dictated by someone else is a habit is a habit that you need to cultivate in order to stay sane in this society, because they're not going to care about your mental health. Although now things are slightly changing after the pandemic, right? Mental health is becoming more widely recognized as an issue, right? But you can't wait until society takes this seriously for yourself to take it seriously first.
I also think it's not a very good idea to attach your self-worth to a job. And this is speaking as someone who is self-employed. So if like you're working for someone else's company, you attach your self-worth to ROIs, that's a bit dangerous as well. Or like what if you fall sick and then you can't continue working at the job that you're working at? Then suddenly you don't have self-worth anymore. So I think what Debbie was saying about like you have to have different places where you find joy and meaning, and that's more safe as well. Yeah. Susan, anything else to add to this topic?
No.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, so this self-worth thing, right, is sometimes half the battle, you know? Yeah. I mean, getting yourself back on track is not easy lah. So if you do find someone that you can talk to about it, who is not immediately involved in your situation, that would be safer. In some cases, and I recall some cases where you just can't speak to your superior. So then maybe you want to talk to someone outside of the system completely lah. If only to validate you or to give you suggestions rather than suffer alone. Because I mean, life is only so short, right? You don't want to have life pass you by and then not be who you want to be, or maybe the job is bringing out a side of you that you don't like. I had a job where I enjoyed actually the job, but it was bringing out a side of me that I really didn't like, for example. And of course everyone has bills to pay, so then you have to weigh the consequences of staying there versus leaving. And sometimes it's difficult when you have kids, when you have mortgage, you have all these things, right? So I guess speaking to someone who is older, wiser, hopefully more mature, right? And then it gives you a better gauge of how to navigate. I don't think anyone should dictate what you should do, because that's not fair either. I mean, I cannot, for example, tell Susan to leave Stephanie's life, and I cannot tell Stephanie to lead Susan's life, or my life. So I mean, nobody has the right. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you are able to figure out how it is best that you need to be loved, how it is best you need to be supported, and then you move in that direction. So that's a good habit to cultivate lah. Yeah, over time, because such things you can't fix like overnight. And also I suppose most of us can't leave a job overnight unless you have like millions stashed away, especially now with all the inflation and all the whatever have you. Yeah, are we ready to go on to the next? This one is like a very long long question that never ended. Okay, so left with 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
3.
Okay, actually it's not that difficult. I think we cleared the worst one. Okay, what does a productive day look like for you? What does a productive day look like for you? Please don't talk about nighttime. Please don't talk about weekend. Please don't talk about, productive in terms of, output lah.
Nobody want to answer.
No productive.
So you're also putting
Not productive. Did you say not productive?
not productive.
No.
Lays around at home. I think
by default, both are bums.
no, not bums. I think maybe depends on the agenda for the day. Some days are meant for teaching classes. Some days are email
What
day.
does a productive day
Yeah, I'm answering
look
like.
like?
Yeah, I'm answering like.
I'm not talking about unproductive days.
I never talk about unproductive
You
either.
say what is on the agenda, what?
Yeah. No, it's just different types of productivity. You see, there's like, especially with like creatives.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's like meetings to be had. I don't like meetings, but like a productive day for that day would be I have to attend a meeting lah. What to do, right? Or sometimes it's like I have to answer like a whole bunch of emails on that particular, especially Mondays. Yeah. Then sometimes got like, for example, CCTAE things that I have to handle, right? So different kinds of days call for different kinds of productivity. Yeah.
tell you.
Okay, today's productivity was that I taught class. Right. Yeah, also it depends on the kind of things you have to do. No, like for example, if I have an in-person class, then that greatly reduces the amount of other things I can do, because I have to travel, I have to eat on my way there.
I cannot answer this question.
Why? Okay, you answer. Okay, how does a productive day look like to you?
Yeah, so you just give an average productive day.
Okay, you give me your average first.
Okay, so basically, for me, a productive day is where I can get a lot of work done. It is. You see, I tell you.
Definition of productive, what?
Yeah, so it's like, what does it look like to you? What's your definition of a productive day lah? Basically, I like to get a lot of things done within a small spectrum of time, because I don't really have a lot of time to do a lot of things. And with my house now, my apartment now, still being fixed like in bits and bobs and stuff, right? If I don't get focused during the hours that I have to myself to work, then things will never get done. And I suspect the same is true if Susan has a lot of work, right, and she doesn't get it done when Isaac is asleep, right, then it's not productive, right, Susan? Something like that. Same thing for me. So it's like a juggling session where, it's like, you will never have enough time, right? But with the time you have, you still have to be productive. So kind of like what a typical productive day for me is that I will wake up very early. Normally I'm up around 6:30 or 6. Like today I put food inside the multi cooker already, so that when I go home it's cooked and I don't have to stand at the kitchen area, trying to cook dinner at the last moment, because I will definitely be late and it looks like it's going to rain from here. So by the time I do go home and do get home, right, it's past 6, I think, or past 5, depending on the crowd. I'm commuting, so depending on the commute as well. So if it's productivity that we are talking about, then ideally I would be multitasking most of the day if I can. But of course, there are some things that you can't multitask, right? So a productive day for me will also include clearing my to-do list, which is ever getting longer. I don't think I can reduce, actually, so it never seems to be reduced. I continue to check things off, but then things keep coming in. So in a way, it's a good thing, because it means that we are doing something right. It means that people are recognizing our brand. It means that people recognize our work, and it also means that people trust us. So I like to have a bit of my emails cleared in the morning, or the bulk of the emails cleared in the morning, and then by noon, right, I hope that all my important stuff is cleared for the day. That's what I would call productive, so that I can wind down properly and then continue the next day lah. So sometimes I put emails on hold that, past 12 noon, I don't deal with the heavy stuff anymore, for example. Not because that I want to procrastinate, but because I know that if I can get it done in the morning, I'm clearer, I'm more, my tone is more patient. Sometimes after dealing with like 20 people, your tone changes, right? Unknowingly. For me, it does lah, because I'll be then very tired, then a bit jaded, and then I would need to unwind a little bit before I can deal with the next batch of inquiries. So of course, this looks different from everyone's point of view. Even my team also will respond differently, because not all of us are doing the same thing. We have different stuff that we are doing, and also different ways that we do stuff. And everyone is working remotely right now, so I guess the timing is also different for the different people on our team, and also the different projects that we are in charge of, the different duties lah. So because mine is a very, I want to say mechanical, but it's not exactly mechanical. It's mechanical when it comes to accounts, because you only can vary so much, right, for accounts. But the rest of the time, I'm fairly flexible, I think. So I try and suit the week before me. Some weeks are, like Steph said, some weeks are very packed in. Some weeks are not so packed in. Some weeks really take a lot out of us. And I mean emotionally as well as physically. So a productive day will be one that I complete most of my tasks. If I can finish 3 a day, I'm actually very happy. But sometimes when we get busy, 3 a day is not enough, lah, right?
Susan, you want to go next?
Actually,
What's your productive day?
a productive day, of course, is you settle all the to-do list that you set. But for me, right, I realized that before I become a work from home mom, a productive day is within my control. I can just set whatever that I want to do. But
You
when
just do
I become a work from home mom, seems like my plan, I need to
throw out the
accept
window.
that it will suddenly just change or to adjust. Then with a lot of those time anxiety, this is something that I need to cope and can't avoid. This is something that that I never can understand before I really became the work from home mom. Yeah. So actually I found that something is very funny for myself. That I have a few experience that I have a lot to do list in my list. Then I able to finish it. Then I able to do extra things like maybe draw 1 or 2 tiles of Zentangle or do something very additional like making a sourdough during my busy day. But when
Yeah.
I'm like not that busy, I end up like I did nothing, you know. I don't have the mood to draw. I don't have the keen to make the sourdough or make the cake, whatever. I find it's so funny. It's not so many things to do, but I became like uh, don't have
Motivation.
the motivation to do. Yeah, something is wrong.
Maybe when you are starting to do work, then it's easier to keep going. But then if like you have to like find the motivation to do, then sometimes it's like, oh, I have to go and do. Then you very
Yeah, maybe
very
the
sian.
engine not started yet.
So you're saying it's the momentum, lah.
No momentum. It's true.
Then what if you need to get things done, then no momentum, then how?
But if you something that is a task, then no matter how you still need to drag yourself, also need to do it complete.
But then you see, if you have to drag yourself to do it, then it's not so fantastic the outcome as if you are happy and you do it, right?
But in real working life, you cannot think that I'm not happy, then I don't do work, right?
Yeah, so then you should be
Like
happy that
I
you
get
got work to do, lah. Basically,
yeah lah, you have to change your mindset lah.
this is a
Thank God
very
that I still have work.
I hope all the interns that you so FIR well, basically we were toying with the idea of having interns since last year, right? But because I ended up in hospital unexpectedly and we really don't want anyone passing out or collapsing here if we can help it, right? So we are actually hiring interns. Please don't be put off by what you hear today. If you are considering applying as an intern, we would welcome anyone. As long as you are a CCT and you have social media, we would consider you. And it doesn't matter if you have never taught a Zentangle class or if you have taught hundreds of Zentangle classes. It really doesn't matter to us because we are more interested in growing as a team, growing you, having the experience of working with you. Yeah, don't let this random conversation sort of color the impression that you have of us. Basically, Susan and Stephanie are very hardworking people. It's just that their default mode is bum.
Default mode.
And I say it
Very good.
yeah, I know, right? And I say it, I say it with perfect acceptance, that, their default mode is bum. I'm fine with that, and it's not a criticism. It's just that you are means you are lah. Okay, so Stephanie says maybe Susan don't agree lah. But then this is an observation, not from Susan, it's from the team lah. Right not? Right, Susan? And it's okay to be a bum. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with being a bum by default, except when you work, you have to be serious. That's all, right? So currently, the problem is that I am opposite of them, and I work. I'm not saying this with a lot of pride, okay? So please don't hear me wrongly. I'm saying it from a point where I need to learn. So I need to learn how to balance my life. I cannot be working 24/7 or 365 or whatever, Yeah. So I have the opposite default mode of I cannot keep still lah. And then I was born like this lah, So I also have a problem. It's more of a self-reflection than a criticism on my teammates. It's more like I'm aware that I work this way. I don't expect other people to work this way. But I do understand that for some people they enjoy the fast-paced life. Like I enjoy my fast-paced life. I like my life to be busy. I'm not ashamed to say that I work like a nutcase in most cases. But I don't expect my team to do the same lah. Of course, there are some people who are nutcases and they expect the other people to be like them lah. Okay, then that one is really a nutcase lah. And then Steph is very quiet suddenly, so I think we should let her speak.
You talk lah, why?
Yeah, talk lah. Why you suddenly so quiet?
I never suddenly, I just waiting for my turn patiently. Anyways, productive day, right? We're talking about productive day for me.
Don't be there.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Hold on. Productive day for me. For me, well, I guess I can take you through. I'm not a morning person. I don't like any meetings to be before 9 if I can help it. I've been very blessed that I can control my own time schedule. So that's been nice. So usually I get to office at around 10. Then I spend my mornings answering emails. And then if we have orders, I pack the orders. If we have things that need to be set up, I do that before I go for lunch.
Usually we check in.
Yeah, we check in usually. That's usually in the morning. And then in the afternoons, I get the bulk of like small tasks. Like Susan said, like there's like 3 main tasks kind of deal. Then there's like small tasks scattered around. And then Debbie has taught me how to prioritize.
Don't credit me, thank you.
So you find, like there's like this little what do you call it, like a little graph. So the graph is kind of like 4 boxes, right? Then this one is like high energy, high energy, high importance. Then high energy, low importance. Then low energy, high importance, and then low energy, low importance. So you can group the task into these 4 boxes, and then you can figure out what needs to be done first and how much energy you need to expend on them. So obviously, if it's high importance task, of course I need to get them done first lah, right? Then if it's low importance, I can get them done. I've realized also that I have a tendency to do low effort tasks first, because then I can con myself into feeling like I accomplish a lot, but actually that's not how I'm supposed to do it.
That's all of us crazy.
Yeah, because sometimes you might drop the ball on things that are a lot more important that are time sensitive. So must always prioritize things that are important, even if they require more effort, and do those things first. But yeah, productivity. Also, I think like going off of what Susan said, sometimes it's not even like you have to be a parent also. Sometimes it's just that day you don't feel well, or that day, maybe like your body is telling you like you didn't sleep well, or you have
Your
like
body is telling you didn't sleep well. You just didn't sleep well.
your body tell you like why?
You don't need your body to tell you.
Then who's telling you? It's not your body.
Your cat,
Your
cat.
head.
Your cat. Your cat is telling you you cannot sleep well.
Yes.
I'm going to party all night.
Yes, your cat telling you.
Party all night.
Yes, potty online. So sometimes it's just like you had like 7 tasks to do that day. They were all very important, but then that day just wasn't a good day for you, and you have to choose to be kind to yourself and be like, you know what, it's okay. You know, not the end of the world. As long as I don't miss major deadline, and that's also why you should buffer in extra time to complete each task, so that if anything were to happen, you know, it's not like the end of the world kind of situation, right? And then just the next day, just pick up where you left off, right? So yeah,
So
productivity
it's
should
okay
be.
to be a bum.
It's okay to be a bum, yes.
Like a productive bum.
Join the lifestyle of bums. We're a very tight knit community.
Productive bum.
Productive bums, yes. The cats are our mascots. See, they sleep for 16 hours a day and everybody still loves them. Same thing.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah.
So apparently, right, snails can sleep for 1 day and then be awake for 30 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that, you know.
So productive.
Yeah, so I want to be a snail next life.
Oh.
But I don't want to have sex with everyone. Because that's basically what a snail does. Yeah, it's true. If you have like more than one snail in the tank, right, they sleep around.
They're non-monogamous. Maybe you be asexual still.
I don't want to be a snail lah. I'm just saying that I want to sleep lah in my next life.
My Susan, why so quiet? What is Susan doing? Oh, your towel looks so interesting, Susan. I like how today all of our colour schemes kind of like same, like bluish, greenish.
How is it the same?
Oh, got blue.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
Then got green.
So,
Then should
Debbie said,
I pink?
Debbie said, I don't want to use blue anymore.
I shall use pink.
Shall use pink.
I got pink also.
Yeah.
I got
Same,
two.
same. Yeah, same. Twinsies. How? Next question, Debbie.
Susan answered already, man.
Yeah, Susan answered already.
Is it?
Oh, because of the sun, right?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. She forgot her answer.
Never mind.
Okay, this is the last question. This one very simple lah. You trust me or not? Steph says no.
Trust you.
Oh, you trust me? Yeah. Okay, very good. I shall remember this. Steph, you die next time. Okay, last question. What is one thing, Stephanie, not 10 things, okay? What is one thing you look forward to in June 2022 and why? One, you don't go and tell me like 1800.
Next one.
I also know it's next month. Susan. I am the one that wrote today's date on the Instagram. You very trying to disturb me only. Next month, yes, I know it's next month.
Then why just say next month, then still
Sorry.
June.
Must repeat. June. It's next month.
Oh my god.
So fast, so.
Half a year already. Yeah. What is one thing that we are excited for in June? June got school holidays.
There's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
You're still in school, man.
June. What's happening in June, Susan?
June is my brother's birthday month.
Oh, June, no birthday month for me, sorry.
But
My
I am
household
not
is all
looking forward
Virgo.
because I have no present.
Oh, that one. Yeah, a bit sound now, right, to think about presents for people. June.
Oh, half year gone, June.
Don't like
So
that,
fast.
eh?
Oh. Okay, never mind. We still got 6 months.
Okay, while you all are thinking, right, I just realized that every tangle that Stephanie stepped out looks like their wife. Oh. Yeah, you see, I found by accident also. You know the Faybio, right? Oh, I cannot use this towel because it's wet. Okay,
So you
wait,
can
wait.
draw
I
the
find.
family tree.
Okay, wait. You see, okay, so Faybio, right, starts out with like wait let me clear my yeah lah, wait lah. Okay. Aya! Okay. So you get like a U shape and then you do this, right? That one is like that, right? It's same. So then if I happen to do this, it's a that one also. Can you tell me sure it's a that one? They look the same. Susan, help.
I also want help.
I cannot help.
Susan, it's the same tangle, right? You see, okay, I draw again. Okay, Fabio, right? And then DIY. Correct? Correct or not?
Mm.
And then, if I bring this down, and then I bring this down, it's also DIY what?
The white still got another stroke on top, right? In the
Yeah,
middle.
so like that, right?
That's
Then I can like that also what? Same what?
okay lah. Come from same mother.
Same mother. So this is what fraternal twins. How old are they?
Tripled.
1.5.
So Susan, what's going on in June for you other than birthday?
To me, June is like a very busy month.
Why? What's going on?
Huh?
Your thesis finished already. You still got what?
Yeah, my friend also asked me, you finish your thesis already, what are you still busy with? But
Ah.
now seems like a lot of things.
Susan, I have an answer.
Ah. Wait.
Cannot be busy.
Wait.
Huh?
Debbie said you should tell
What
your
is it?
friend.
What she say?
I finished this things. I cannot be busy, is it?
I can have other things.
Because my friend also like, keep last few months keep this hear me saying that about my thesis ma. Then he says that the thesis is the biggest issues, biggest things, biggest task in 2022.
Oh,
Then
so
why you
finish should be
finish
free
still
already.
busy?
Where got busy
Oh.
other things?
Yeah, then, no more.
Oh,
Mm.
cannot be busy then no more. Well, okay. You're saying is June holidays, but got nothing to do with me. But I am going to teach. I'm going to teach a class at Fernvale CC. I think it was.
No, you got it right.
I hope I got it right too. Yeah, so that'll be something to look forward to because it'll be for kids. It's specifically directed for kids. So it'll be quite interesting to have a class of children again for that month. Yeah, so I guess I'm looking forward to that. That's something to do with June holidays, but it has to do with me, even though I'm not in school anymore. Yeah. What about you? Susan, Debbie?
Let Debbie answer first.
Hey, this woman very naughty. Okay, I think that I'm actually not looking forward to June. I don't really like June actually, but my wedding anniversary is in June. And my best friend's birthday is in June. Yeah. I'm not looking specifically forward to either. I guess I just want to get through the month lah. Yeah, I just want to get through the month, not have any disasters happen. Cause I think I had a very rocky 2022 already. Going by my standards even, right? So it would be nice. It would be nice if it's a smooth sailing June for me. Yeah. And if it's able to be a nice and smooth sailing June, it doesn't have to be anything else. I'll be very happy already. Yeah. So that's my very realistic answer, or really minimalist answer in the sense I'm very easily satisfied, I guess. And then right, I want to complain. Can I hold up my towel and show you? The paper cannot take my watercolors. So my ink, can you see my ink? Yeah, it kind of feathered. Yeah. Otherwise, I thought it was quite nice. Yeah. And I'm using this Delwai Faybio thing as a leaf.
Susan, your turn. Don't play shit.
Digit.
Think
I
faster.
think faster.
Why you force her to think faster?
Just joking.
Then next time when you think very slow, I will force you also.
Got one time, one episode I got forced to think faster. For
I
me,
do not have a specific things to look forward for June, but
Oh.
I still don't know because I didn't
Off
find
the top of your
anything
head,
is
cannot
very
think.
special. Yeah.
Okay, then July.
July leh?
Don't have also.
July is Charlotte's birthday. We can have a party
Oh.
Why is it got to do
with
with
Isaac.
Susan?
Okay.
She can
Yeah.
use
So
my answer.
something to look forward to. Yeah.
Yes. I help her.
Oh, so not her child.
It's
Although I have
Actually-
nothing to look forward for June, but I still hope that June doesn't go so fast. Because like I want it to slowly. Yeah, I
Is it-
can.
Is it you do your
something.
thesis then you feel like time fly very fast?
Not really. When I do
No.
thesis, I found that the time very slow. Don't know why.
Please.
Yeah,
I want graduate
also
faster.
think so.
Yeah, I also think so. When you do thesis, right? All of us doing thesis also.
Yeah.
So that's not it's true. Each time we
Mm.
think of giving you something to do, right? We stop, we stop
Susan
and think,
doing
yeah,
thesis,
she
stop.
very poor thing, don't give her, don't give her. She's like rushing her thesis, right? Then for the past 6 months, we do that.
Where got
So-
past 6 months? So long, man.
Yeah. Wow, Steph,
I don't know, I'm very bad at timekeeping, don't ask me.
you are not timekeeping, you are witness. I hold you to telling the truth.
Daniel, paging Daniel.
Can you hear her? Aiyo, my goodness. So every time when we wanted to give Susan work, we take it upon ourselves because it's like, this poor thing got thesis lah, got what. Then the thesis never hand in one. At first supposed to be don't know when, then bring forward, bring backwards until we also give up. After we hear the word thesis also, I think we're going to get hives already.
Thesis very difficult. Right, Susan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one. Good one.
What?
In June, right? I'm looking forward to having my first neurographical class with Susan Yo. And we
very
wait
good.
very long already.
Mm.
So I'm calling it forth.
Wait until finish thesis then can start.
又在 finish thesis?
Finally,
哎呦，
finally,
过了没
yeah.
有？
So finally.
Today we breeze through.
Yeah, so she said, okay, next question. I'm like, no more. This one's the last one. Then I'm like, okay, you want? I got some more. I got next week one. Why Susan suddenly so quiet?
I don't want more question. Enough. Quota reach. So fast, man. 5 question. Okay. Very good.
5 lah. I check off one by one. So okay, I go in sequence. We said, what do you have a favorite Zentangle HQ pattern, right? So that's number 1. Correct or
Okay.
not? And then we went to the pre-bedtime ritual. That's 2, right? And then we had this very difficult question chosen by Stephanie. What is a habit that you would recommend to someone who is struggling to cope with self-worth? Remember? And then we got stuck on this one. Correct? And then we went to what does a productive day look like for you? Correct? And then now we are saying what is one thing you look forward to in June 2022. So I actually answered.
Okay.
I said I look forward to the first neurographical class lah. I haven't said why yet. So maybe I should say why.
Why?
Because right, Because, right, when Susan told us that she's getting certified, right, as a neurographical teacher, she promised to teach us. But she haven't. I also
So
busy what?
busy.
I also
Busy
busy
with
what?
thesis until June,
跟你讲啊，这个
April.
thesis 这个东西哈，
不要再
I
讲
think
了。
啊，I think every time I hear the word thesis, I want to collect money already. Then that will stop it.
Actually, since after I submitted my thesis, I has never mentioned it.
诶，
Every
你
time
今
is
天
you
讲了这样
mention
多次嘞，他今天讲了这样多次right？
你先讲的。
今天是 Stephanie 先讲的。
Oh, okay.
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything. Yeah, better you don't. Smart, Stephanie.
Okay. Debbie, you're off screen. Debbie, you're off screen.
She's too excited.
Okay. So, so
What?
for today,
Why she hurt?
she gonna poison our cakes. Then she'll say, "Oh no, I don't eat sugar." And then,
No, technically it is poison. Sugar is poison.
let me eat my cake in peace.
Sugar is poison.
Okay,
It's poisonous to me.
Anyway, okay. Today's string. Oh my goodness, today's string. We did a line and a semicircle. Then Susan said can do different kinds of line. We can overlap if you want. And then we use the Tangle Faybio by me. And this is how you draw Faybio, yeah?
Which is a del Y.
Which Debbie says is a del Y, but I don't think it's a del Y. Yeah.
Everything
Yeah, why, sister?
So I share my towel with everyone. So I completed this postcard. So it was pre-tinted with Lindy's Gang Magicals. I think this was from the summer break collection. Then I tangled on the outside. So this was like an idea that I had for a while. I wanted to like do a frame and then have a word inside. So I used Sakura's Pen Touch for the silver word. And then I chose the word breathe. And then shading was done with a Faber-Castell Pit Graphite Matte pencil in 14B. Yeah, and then you also saw me tinting this smaller tile on screen using Ecoline markers. And then I'm excited to see what I can create with it. Yeah. Demi, you want to share with everyone what you did?
Well, I did 2 tiles because I basically wanted to test out the watercolors on I think this is BFK Reeves actually, but it's a apprentice sized, so it's from a different supplier, not Zentangle Inc. Zentangle Inc doesn't have Renaissance tiles in this size. So can you see? Wait, let me zoom out a little bit. Oh, yeah. So there, I have 2 tiles. So I am actually testing the colors, like I said. So I tried to. I don't really like this one, but I can see why it needed to be done because the mica in. Let me just hold it up. So okay, so the mica here actually comes from this pot of cotton candy pink. Cotton candy pink. And if you look at the pot, right, I don't know if you can see. Maybe I can just hold it. Yeah, I'm trying to hold it without spilling it on myself. I don't want to go home on the train sparkly and pink. The mica in this is really a lot actually. And then I also have sweet treats, which is this one. So I was testing out mixing magicals with brushos, which technically is the same concept because they are all pigment powders, except the fact that brusho doesn't seem to have mica in any of their colors, and that was why I thought I might try mixing them. If you can see this huge black blob, right, that is actually I think that is actually sea green, but it looks very blue. So it's sea green brusho powder, and it's very dense. And this one, so this was my second tile. I decided to do 3 gems so that I can display the colors a bit better. And if you look at the pink one, so the cotton candy pink is a very flat side, well, I won't quite flat, but it's definitely a cool tone pink. So it is when I say flat, I mean in terms of uniformity, it's a very uniform color. And I felt that there was no, well, I'm not a fan of pink lah. So to begin with, I'm not a fan of pink. So I'm very judgmental. If a pink is very nice, then I will consider it. So this pink was a bit too flat to my liking, and I added, I think it was the sea green. So the sea green has a lot of, sea green brushes added to cotton candy pink magicals. The sea green has a lot of blue in it. So it sort of made one side of the pink gem look purple, which was actually quite nice actually. I'll probably take a photo, it'll be clearer. And then the biggest gem in the center was created by sea green with Tiffany loose blue layered on it. So this smaller one is actually just Tiffany loose blue. Just give you an idea of the color comparison. And then I paired earbar with Delwai cross with, what's it called again? Faybio. And then I have poke leaf and then of course hollies. So I might finish this tile. I think I'm done with this one though, because it's clearly not very, well, I'm not going to add any more watercolors for sure. I don't think the tiles can take, see, this one went right through. Can you see? Right here. Yeah. So I don't think the watercolor, this tile can take watercolors. At least not directly like this. Yeah. So I use black and brown microns in 01. And I'll probably finish partially on a view like I normally do before going home. I don't think I can stay very long though. It's like going to rain. Is it going to rain at your side, Susan?
It's raining here.
Oh,
It's
oh
raining.
no. Okay.
And Susan, you want to share your towel?
Oh, okay. Okay, basically I drew my tiles using the Sakura Jelly Roll Moonlight series. Then I added the Aniso and also the Tripoli with some rainbow colors. And I color with the Sakura color pencil also. So today is a colorful tiles.
Sakura color pencil.
Yeah. You want to talk about Sakura color pencils?
Yeah, the Sakura color pencil. Talk about what?
Is it the watercolor?
Oh no, it's not a watercolor pencil. It's just a normal color pencil.
Yeah. So that's about
Why
all
not?
from that's about all from us. If you like to watch a recording of today's session, you can watch it on Instagram at 7forest5rivers, or you can also watch it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/7f5r studio. You can also, if you tangle along with us and use either the string or the Tangle Faybio, you can post your tile on the 7f5r challenge group on Facebook. You can search 7f5r challenge directly in Facebook search bar, or go to bit.ly/fb7f5r. Yeah, if you tangle along with us, tag us. We'd love to see what you've created. Debbie can be found at tangle.pursuits. Susan is at susanyo.czt, and I am at halfpen_will_draw. We'll be streaming again next week, Wednesday, 2:45 p.m. Singapore time, and we hope to see you live. And otherwise, there'll be a recording, of course, available. Thank you so much for spending the past hour and a half with us. We hope to see you again soon. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.